everybody, and welcome to my channel. So today I'm gonna tell you how you can get better grades. So to just give you a little bit of an introduction, I have always been a pretty average student. I used to always be in the top 20 and top 25 of my class, and my class had like 60 people in it. So I would say that's quite average. But then recently, just last year, I managed to come second in my class, and that came as a shock to me. But then throughout the year, I was able to maintain that position, and in my recent board exams, I got 97%. And I'm really proud of myself for making all those achievements. And so today, I would like to help you get better grades as well. And just like as a little bit of a disclaimer, remember that marks are not everything. More important than that is that you actually enjoy what you're learning. And that is also one of the biggest changes that I noticed, is that instead of thinking of studies as something extremely boring and just, not wanting to do it, I changed my attitude towards that. And I genuinely started to enjoy what I was learning, and that made everything so much easier. So just try to keep a positive attitude. And yeah, let's get started. Okay, so tip number one would be to be consistent. Naturally, if you do something every day, you are going to get better at it. That's just what's going to happen. So you don't have to dedicate like 4 to 5 hours to studying every single day. Even if you just study 2 hours. I just studied 2 hours every day, but I made sure to do it every single day. And some days, you have to do something else. But just make sure that even if it's just a small amount, you are studying every single day. Like, you're actually making an effort to study, even if it's just doing your homework. So naturally, if you do it every single day, you are going to get better at it, and you're going to see a difference. Okay, so tip number 2 is to have a schedule. Now this kind of correlates with the first tip, is being consistent. And if you have a schedule, it will make it much more easier for you to be consistent. So you don't have to have like a very rigid schedule with everything completely time blocked or anything. Even if you have just a rough outline of your day, even that is enough. You just have to start with a completely simple, rough routine of how your day has to go, and then eventually it will start to take shape itself. Like, all the timings and everything will come on its own. But it's really important to have a schedule, have a routine, because it gets you mentally prepared for whatever your next task is. And also another benefit is it helps you include almost all like different kinds of activities into your day. So it helps you be balanced, and it helps you not leave out any important activity. And it's just more organized, it's more stable, and it's just a good idea to have a structure and a routine. Okay, so for tip number 3 would be to find a way that helps you study. Now, there are multiple study methods out there, and finding the study method that works for you, that helps you engage, is really important, because that way you're not only more focused, you also enjoy what you're doing. Now, like, a way that you could find a study method that helps you is to identify what kind of learner you are. So there are multiple kinds of learners, like visual learners, auditory learners, tactile learners, and knowing what kind of learner you are will help you find a study method that works for you. So for example, I was a tactile learner, and I am a tactile learner, and like, the act of writing notes and just writing really helped me focus and engage in what I was learning. Now, I actually didn't read my notes that many times, because reading notes is a very passive form of studying, and you shouldn't always do it. But I still made notes, because just writing notes really helped me focus. And it's also writing aesthetic notes has also really helped me enjoy what I was studying. And also the environment that you study in is also really important. So making sure that you have a quiet, nice place that calms you down, because all these things do make a big difference. Like, making sure that you're using the right method of studying, and that you have a good environment to study in. These things do make a difference, and they're more in the part of enjoying your studies. And as I said before, if you enjoy your studies, it's automatically going to make the whole process much easier, and it's going to take like 50% of the stress off of it. Okay, so tip number 4 is question papers. questions. And question papers are really important because they're the best way to study for any exam. So like, when you get that 1 month before your board exams to prepare for your exams, all I did was solve question papers. I used to solve 2 question papers a day, and that is really important because question papers, they're just such great ways to study from because you're getting an idea of what kind of questions come in your exam, and you're getting an idea of the structure of the questions, the pattern of the paper, what questions are repeated most often, what topics are most important, and like what topics are frequently asked. It helps you better prepare for your exam. You're always putting information inside your brain, and it's so information just keeps getting pushed back and back and back. So you need to make sure that you're also taking the information out of your brain to make sure that you keep revising whatever you're learning, and that is called active recall. So there are multiple ways that you can do active recall, but what I would suggest is you did one topic, like you read one topic and you made notes, whatever you studied one topic. So like about like a week later or 2 weeks later, I would suggest you solve a question paper on that topic or a couple of topics together, because that way you're taking information out of your brain. You can analyze that, okay, how much understanding you actually have of that topic, and how much more do you need to work on it. And past year's question papers are always available with the school, or you can ask some of your seniors for them. They're amazing ways to study. So I would definitely suggest that you incorporate, solving question papers into your study. Okay, so a little bit of a bonus tip here is to ask your teachers for help. This is something that I found myself doing a lot this past year, because teachers have such great insights when it comes to exams, because you're literally going and asking them what they want. They know how you're supposed to write your answers, and they can help you form better answers. Because see, as much as it is important to write the right answers, it's also important to present your answers the right way, because the examiner that is going to be correcting your paper doesn't know you. The only way that, or the only impression that you can leave on them is your paper. And if your answers are very impressively written, then it's always going to leave a good impression. Yeah, ask your teachers for whatever questions you have. Teachers are always ready to help you, and they have amazing insights. Okay, so tip number 5 would be to ask more questions. It is really important to ask questions and get all your topics clear and have a clear understanding of everything. Because when you prioritize understanding your topics rather than memorizing them, it just makes everything so much easier. When you're writing an answer during the exam, you don't have to sit and remember everything that you had learned. No, because you understood the topic, because it's clear to you, the answer is automatically just going to come to you. Like, you don't have to make an effort because you've understood everything. So don't be afraid to ask questions. And I know we all think that the questions we're going to ask are going to be stupid. Trust me, I've always been afraid of that, and that had been something that always stopped me from asking questions. It's okay. No teacher has ever denied me from answering even a stupid question. It's fine. What is more important is that you have your topics clear. And if you're afraid, of asking a question in front of the entire class, you can write them down, somewhere, and then collect them and go to your teacher once and just get all your doubts clear. Even that is fine. But don't be scared of asking questions, even out in the class. Trust me, your questions are not stupid, or at least they're not as stupid as you think they are. Teachers themselves have told me that this is something that they admired the most, and this is something that they actually, liked about me, is that I asked questions. I was actually interested and so curious, and that made them more happy to teach me because I was engaged in what they were learning. So it's a great communication between the teacher and the student to always ask questions, and just ask questions, get everything clear, be curious, and enjoy what you're learning, and just get everything clear. Okay, so tip number 6 would be to analyze. Analyze everything, your answers, your progress, what is working, what isn't working. Because if you try new things, if you're working so hard, but you don't know what difference it has made, it's really all pointless. There's no point in doing so much if you don't even know if it's working or not, or how is it helping you, or what more you can do to get better. And analyze everything, like okay, is this study method working for me? Is my schedule working for me? Am I able to keep up with it? Those things, as well as your answers. So every time you solve a question paper, every time you get an answer sheet back from your teacher, see where or did you go wrong, and what are your weakest topics, or where did you lose the most marks, what mistakes did you make, to make sure that you don't make those mistakes again. Correct yourself and just analyze. Remember, there's no point in planning and doing so much if you don't even know what impact it's having. And all these small things, they help you realize what your weak points are and where you need to work on, and that is how you get better. That is how you improve your grade. Okay, so it's time for another bonus tip, and this one is a little bit difficult to explain, so just hang in there with me. So once you've analyzed everything and now you know what your strengths and your weaknesses are, don't focus all your attention and your efforts on your weaknesses. And this is because if you do that, you will lose practice and you will lose efficiency in your strengths. And that is not good because you want to safeguard your marks in an exam. So let me explain this better with an example. So for example, in math, you're better at geometry than at algebra. Now, if you just focus all your attention on algebra, you will lose practice with geometry, and then your geometry will get weaker. It may not get as weak as algebra, but it'll still get weaker, and you might, make mistakes that you wouldn't have made before, or you might just not be able to keep up with it. And anyway, it's gonna get weaker, and that is not a good thing. So for example, if you're studying for 1 hour, you study math for 1 hour, instead of focusing that entire hour and studying algebra for the entire hour, study 20 minutes of geometry and 40 minutes of algebra. This way, you're giving more time to algebra, so you are going to get better at it. You're putting a little bit more effort into it, but at the same time, you're not losing practice with geometry. You're still making sure that your geometry is up to date, it's still strong, and it's doing really great. Okay, your math exam is for 100 marks. And out of 100 marks, say 30 to 40 marks are for geometry related questions. And so you want to safeguard these marks. So you want to make sure that you do not even lose 1 mark when it comes to geometry. So out of 100 marks, you're guaranteed 30 to 40 marks, and that's great. And because you have been putting more effort in algebra, you are getting better at algebra slowly as well, and you're losing less marks then. So overall, your math grade is going to improve. So in any subject, this is really important. To make sure that you're not ignoring your strengths, you're working on them, so that way you stay balanced and you're just improving overall. And this is a great tip. Okay, so for the final tip of the day, tip number 7 is to just enjoy and relax. Don't stress about it too much. It's important to care about your studies and focus, but don't, just relax and enjoy and just have a positive attitude. Attitude changes everything, okay? Understanding, having a positive attitude, and enjoying your studies, these 3 things together create such a huge impact on your studying, and they make it so much easier and so much more fun for you. So just a change in attitude is the most important thing. You just focus on yourself and just have fun. That is what is most important. Okay, find a way to make studying fun, because look, it's something that you have to do anyways. It's important for your future, for yourself. So you might as well just, enjoy it. You might as well find a way to make it fun for you. And trust me, it can be. You just have to put in the effort. That is it. And even apart from studies, find time for yourself, make sure that in your day, you're at least doing one activity that is just you, and it's to help you calm down, and it's your time. So for me, in my day, it was to go for a walk, helping you relax. And don't be afraid to take part in different things thinking that it's going to distract you from your studies. No, I just did whatever I wanted to, and I had fun. And it does have an impact on your grade as well, because if your overall mental health is good, it's stable, it is going to show up in your studies, it is going to help you improve. And yeah, just find time for yourself. Sit back, relax, enjoy, and just try to do your best. Even if you don't see that much progress, it is okay. What is more important is that you're making an effort, and it's that you're trying. So yeah, that is the end of the video. And I hope you liked all these tips. I hope they helped you. And if you have any tips of yours that you learned yourself that you would like to share, please do. Even if you have any questions, there's always the comment box. You can always approach me personally as well on my Instagram. So if you have any questions, if you have any other tips, if you would like me to make another video on tips, I would totally do that for you. Whatever you want, you just tell me. And yeah, I hope you liked this video. I hope it helped you. I will see you next time. Have a nice day and enjoy.